Oke, tanpa berlama-lama lagi, izinkan saya untuk membacakan agenda untuk webinar pada pagi hari ini. Yang pertama akan ada welcoming speech and presentation Intikom dari Mbak Sarvina Nadira Insani selaku Product and Pre-Sales. Lalu akan dilanjutkan dengan presentasi Jedox oleh Ivetan. Dan yang kedua ada presentation Jedox by Rahul Pandey. Dan akan ada Q&A, lalu dilanjutkan dengan quiz for Kahoot. Dan yang terakhir akan ada feedback form dan juga closing. For the next, Mbak. Oke, untuk pertama langsung saja saya welcome Mbak Sarvina Nadira Insani selaku Product and Pre-Sales Intikom untuk menyampaikan welcoming speech.
Baik, selamat pagi Bapak Ibu semua. Terima kasih telah hadir dan menyempatkan waktunya untuk hadir di acara webinar Revolutionizing FP&A Microsoft Dynamics 365 and Autonomous Repair to Autonomous Finance. Saya Sarvina Nadira Insani selaku Product Pre-Sales dari PT Intikom. Izinkan saya menyampaikan dan menyapa Bapak Ibu semua di acara webinar pagi hari ini. Dan saya akan melakukan overview juga terhadap company profile dari PT Intikom. PT Intikom sudah bergerak dari tahun 1990. Di tahun ini kami sudah menginjak 34 tahun yang sudah bergerak di dunia IT Solutions. Dan kami juga sudah aktif memiliki customer aktif sebanyak 700 dan juga memiliki service point lebih dari 60 titik, memiliki experience lebih dari 30 tahun. Untuk business unit kami sudah dibagi menjadi 7 business unit, yaitu ada infrastructure dan juga security, banking services, managed services, untuk payroll, software, professional services, dan juga mobile. Untuk produk yang akan kita introduce ke Bapak Ibu, yaitu Jedox, kami masuk ke dalam software, yaitu kepada business unit SaaS. Untuk customer references, kami sudah memiliki 700 aktif customers, dan memiliki top 10 diantaranya, yaitu BCA, Fiberstar, Telkomsel, HSP, Bank Mas, Indofood, Matrix, CBN, MNC Play, dan juga Maybank. Seperti yang sudah saya katakan sebelumnya, ada 60 titik service point yang dapat bisa membantu Bapak Ibu sekalian apabila memiliki solusi atau misalkan problem yang dihadapi oleh perusahaan Bapak Ibu itu sendiri. Untuk service center location, kami ada di 4 tempat, rumah Intikom di daerah Duren 3, Intikom Services di DSD, Intikom Services Center di Karawang, dan juga di Surabaya. Untuk business partner, kami sudah memiliki lebih dari 20 business partner, diantaranya IBM, Microsoft, Huawei, Hitachi, dan lain-lain, terutama produk yang akan kita introduce pada pagi hari ini, yaitu Jedox. Kami juga berkompetensi untuk mengantarkan solusi, entah itu tentang mobile, management services, cloud, dan juga analytics. Untuk solution yang akan kita tawarkan kepada Bapak Ibu, yaitu ada infrastructure, ada digital transformation, ada industry solutions juga, entah itu dari banking, retail, education, trust industry, ataupun otomotif. Untuk produk yang kami tawarkan juga bermacam-macam Bapak Ibu. Ada banking equipment, untuk hardware juga mungkin ada kebutuhan dari perusahaan Bapak Ibu, network dan security management, dan juga stream software. Untuk services yang kita tawarkan, entah itu ada consultant, hardware, professional services, management services, entah itu untuk kebutuhan ATM, entah itu tentang payroll, entah IT help desk, dan lain-lain bisa kami provide sesuai dengan kebutuhan Bapak Ibu. Untuk awarding juga kami sudah memiliki banyak sekali awarding. Kita tarik dari beberapa awarding terbaik kami. Masih banyak sebenarnya awarding yang sudah dicapai oleh Intikom. Kurang lebih yang saya sampaikan di sini ada Huawei, dari JTS Business Partner Leadership, lalu juga dari SPM, dan juga dari Cisco. Baik, kurang lebihnya saya mohon maaf, mungkin nanti ada pertanyaan, nanti kita akan ditampung di sesi Q&A Bapak Ibu. Terima kasih. Saya kembalikan ke MC.
Baik, terima kasih banyak Mbak Safina atas penyampaiannya. Beberapa lama lagi, manajer kita langsung lanjut. Untuk presentasi yang pertama, itu dari Ivetan, selaku Partner Account Director Jedox. Ivetan, presents is
Thank
yours.
you. Thanks, Sandra. Selamat pagi. That's probably the only few words I know in Bahasa. I am sorry I cannot speak and present in Bahasa. So let me know if you have any question or if I am speaking too fast. Let me first share my screen and let me know if you can see my screen. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Great. So thank you once again and good morning, everyone. I'm very excited today to be here. My name is Yvette. I'm happy here to be able to share with you how Jedox is able to revolutionize your FP&A practice by extending the footprint of your Microsoft applications. And before we start, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Yvette from Jedox. And together with me, we have Rahul, who is the Solution Advisory Director for APAC region. We will be your Jedox presenters today. So without further ado, let me give you an introduction of Jedox. So who is Jedox? For those who have heard of us, thank you. And for the benefit of the rest, who is Jedox? Jedox, we have experience with thousands of implementations worldwide, over 20-year history to date. We are a highly profitable company, and we are named leader in the financial planning software in the Gartner Magic Top Right quadrant, as well as being ranked #1 as well by Bug Planning Survey, if you can see at the bottom right. Globally, our customers has trusted us, depended on us, performing more than 1 trillion of economic activity plannings. They're using Jedox platform. On the top right corner, you can already see some of the few key international logos. These are just some of them. We have lots and thousands of customers, as you can see here, more than 2,800 customers across the 140 countries. So I would proudly say that Jedox is being trusted by global organizations with our leading technology into the mid-market enterprise worldwide, and it's a proven technology. And why we are here today is not just to introduce how good and successful Jedox is, but more of how we could help you and the finance leaders and the CEOs and basically the decision makers, the leadership team, to arrive to the future of performance management. And where do we see this destination arriving at? So back to the topic today, how can we help you revolutionize your FP&A practice and pave the way to autonomous finance? I'd like to share here an example of driving a car as an analogy. So we know that driving a car requires a driver. And as we progress technology, we have assisted driving with like emergency braking, with like parking distance, blind spot alert. Then we advance further to partially automated driving, where we have cruise control, hands-free, right? We have lane centering, distance control, so on and so forth. Then we have highly automated driving, where self-driving in certain standard situations is allowed. Finally, to fully automated driving, where driver is no longer needed. So in the finance world, transformation world, we also want to pave ourselves to autonomous finance. And how are we doing it today? Today, we are still a lot more on manual process through Excel spreadsheets predominantly. And what we want to do is with the Jedox platform, we help you to progress through this automation journey. So first, process automation. Look into your processes right now. We try to help you streamline by integration with our ready connectors. We automate these processes so that it allows data to flow into the platform, provide you the single source of truth, and automate prediction for you. From there on, we can progress into developing a digital twin environment of your business. And when we have that, once we have that, you imagine one day Jedox One platform will be your digital business partner. Just imagine one day using our natural language processing and our AI-based engine, you can ask the Jedox One platform, whether is it by typing or whether is it by speech to command, a question. For example, hey, Jedox One platform, how would my business or my P&L look like if I increase product A by 5%? Immediately, Jedox One platform would automate the report creation for you, pull out the data for you, and from there, you will be able to make very quick, nimble, and accurate decisions. So this is the journey that we would like to bring you through. And how are we going to do that? First, we have to address your concerns. And we know that the path to digital business partner can do that. The number one challenge that our customers have been facing is too much excessive manual effort. So with hyper automation, which is part of essential of autonomous finance, all integrated business planning processes are being automated to the highest degree possible using the Jedox One platform. Once we arrive there, we are then able to eliminate inconsistency data inventory, lack of integration, and be able to develop a digital twin of business model. It's basically a replica of your entire business ecosystem. And that allows the one platform system to stimulate business decisions across different functions, across your HR, across your production, across your sales performance, for example, not just restricted to finance planning. Finally, we will be able to help you with being digital business partner. We have our natural language and AI engine help you reduce and eliminate the challenge of lacking in resources. So it enhances the interactions between the business users and the business leaders. With the Jedox One platform, you'll be able to achieve autonomous finance, becoming a leader in your market. And perhaps it is also good to share with you what are some use cases we are able to cover to help you achieve that. So Jedox One platform is a platform that is highly adaptable and flexible. It covers all the use cases cross-functional in all your core functions in your organization. Of course, we all know that the core planning still comes from finance, and therefore we will still cover use cases such as like P&L, cash flow, balance sheet, allocations, revenue planning, management reporting. But the Jedox platform is not limited to just these use cases. It could help you with cross-functional collaboration into whether is it bringing in ESG reporting, whether is it helping you with the workforce planning, whether is it performance sales planning or demand planning, merchandise planning, inventory planning, production planning, marketing planning, and even IT asset management planning. End of the day, as we mentioned in the earlier slide, the very first step is to help you look into these areas and streamline and improve your FP&A processes, eliminate what we call Excel chaos. This is an example, good example, or rather illustration to share with you how typically a traditional planning, budgeting, forecasting, and reporting processes look like. So we have lots of Excel spreadsheets. They are all disconnected, or many versions back and forth. The way we communicate to get the budget holders to enter their data is through emails likely, or shared drive likely. And everyone will get access to the same file, perhaps breaking links, breaking up formulas, and cause chaos, I would say. And our solution, the Jedox One platform, is aimed to minimize and limit all this, such as like frustrated workforce, no audit trail, no visibility on where the planning is at right now. And because of that, decision-making become very slow because of the tedious process, because of the back and forth, because of the discrepancies, we would say, and therefore it creates lack of confidence in making decision. And this is key to all the leaders, business leaders, and we want to help you solve that. And the platform would be able to help you collect the information, help you plan the information, help you monitor and validate if the information has duplicates, for example, the outliners, for example, help you then project continuous forecast. Something that if with spreadsheet, you are only able to do annually or periodically. But with the Jedox One platform, you could do continuously, real-time forecasting, planning, down to the granular level. And it can publish into our BI tool. Help you to visualize, help you with reports building. Imagine that you have to attend a management meeting and you have to build reports within few hours. With Excel, you probably need more than a few hours, but with Jedox platform, you could do it within seconds, within minutes. Right. From there, then decision makers could easily evaluate and make accurate and fast decisions that will help bring your organization to another level. So while I share all these capabilities and benefits and value proposition of the One platform, how are we able to gel into your Microsoft environment? So good to know that Jedox and Microsoft have formed strategic partnership. And these are our partnership pillars. Number one, in terms of applications, we have already connectors and components for the Microsoft applications. For example, Dynamics 365 Finance, for example, Excel, PowerPoint, so on and so forth. We scale up our support for Microsoft because we run on Microsoft Azure. So just imagine Microsoft is also using Jedox platform internally. So as I just mentioned, we have plugins, we have add-ins from Microsoft Excel, Office. We are ready for the Microsoft Power Platform. We have integration and components into fully into the Microsoft Dynamics 365. And later on, we will show you showcase the power of the Jedox One platform by my colleague Rahul. This is a testimony from Microsoft Germany. Simply, Jedox is a German company. We work very closely with Microsoft, and this is the testimony we've gotten from the Germany Microsoft office. That Microsoft uses Jedox internally in the Office of Finance and the national subsidiaries, and they use us for driver-based business and budgeting planning, help them to make faster and more sustainable financial decisions. This is a key. Blending into your Microsoft environment, you'll be pleasantly surprised that you can see here, for you, if you are the IT or CIO leaders, you'll be able to appreciate this like better. That you can see that we have already Jedox components into your Microsoft platform, whether it's your Power Platform, whether it's the Office 365, Dynamics 365 databases, and Azure integration. Right. So this will give you the confidence of seamless integration. So if I put into simple illustration, this is how we could help organization jointly empower and complete your Microsoft Finance ecosystem and being able to help you in decision making with a fully integrated planning solution. I have here more examples or success stories when we work with Microsoft environment together with Jedox AI or even ChatGPT technology. So these are some success stories we have with our customers globally, where they could do time series prediction, driver-based prediction, and pattern recognition. Because of our AI engine, we could provide predictive analysis. This is something that they will not be able to achieve easily with the Excel spreadsheet. Worldwide, together with Microsoft, we have helped organizations successfully performing their predictive analysis, forecasting, budgeting, and planning. So these are just some of the logos which we are authorized to publish. There are more than that. And with that, I would like to pass it to Rahul, who will showcase and demonstrate the power of Jedox One platform. Over to you. Thank you. Rahul?
Thank you, Yvette. Let me share my screen.
Yep.
Yvette, you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay. All right. Let's do this. All right. So the first, obviously, we'll not be able to cover most of the things that the Jedox is capable, but I'll try and showcase as much as I can in this 15-20 minutes. So Jedox will definitely empower your organization, as Yvette mentioned, to deliver the adaptable plans that outperforms your expectations. And this is what we call it as a super planning, because we want the organizations that you guys are working for to plan for future and be able to achieve those goals. So with Jedox, you will be able to do planning, budgeting, forecasting, financial consolidation, as well as reporting. So reporting is one of the strongest points. I know there will be systems like Power BI that you might be using in your organization, but to just complete the planning, budgeting, and forecasting solution, it's important to have a reporting layer as well. And that is why Jedox is really, really strong, because you can allow the finance users or the other business users to create their own dashboards using the Canvas capability. So this is a good example of a sales dashboard where you can just filter by different months, and you can have historical data loaded within the system. Different versions can be created, so you can have budget revised, or if you're doing your actuals forecast, you can do analysis of those different versions. You can drill down by different legal entities. If you have multiple entities within your organizations, you can do filter on that legal entities. Then you have products, customers. System also supports multiple reporting currency. So if you have an example of, we are doing the reporting in USD, or we are doing reporting in Euro, so you can have that also supported within the platform. And you can list down all the KPIs. I can do like a monthly breakdown. I can, if I just want to do comparison of actual versus budget, I can do that, include forecast if needed, have my top 5 products. If I want to toggle and understand top 5 customers, I can do that. Different product groups will come in. So if I want to drill down and I want to understand, so how is the actual doing against my budget? Where is this 29 million coming from? Which are those customers? So I can drill down, and it gives me that information in terms of the different customers that I'm looking at. So currently I know Germany, these are the cities that are doing well. This is some of the customer base. I can drill down further to look at the different customers. So that is important information, because you can put everything together, but you need to have that insights. You need to be able to do those analysis. And I think there's a lot of focus on having AI based, insight driven focus. So you see the ChatGPT enabled dashboard, where the moment you say, can you do an executive summary based on the data above? So all the information, it reads through and it gives me a summary. So that is something which is also possible within the platform. Now, the next aspect, right? Because you will do reporting, there will be information coming in from different source systems, right? So how does Jedox pull in those information? And this is where the integration capability of the platform comes in, where I can connect to not just Microsoft Dynamics 365 but I can also connect to SAP. If you have Salesforce, Snowflake, SQL Server databases, Oracle, I can connect to all those systems. And I also, because you might be having Power BI, you might be having Tableaus within your ecosystem, we also push the data back to all these Power BI solutions as well. So this is a very important tool, which is again part of the platform. It has 50 plus pre-built connectors, and you see some of the connectors already available. So what I'll do is I'll just showcase you the Dynamics 365 Finance and Operation Connector. So this is the screen that we have created in order to make it easier for the end users to make those no-code integration, have those bi-directional flows. And I think you would mention about the digital twin that we want to create within the organization so that you can plan across the entire value chain. So this is the Dynamics 365 connector. Once you sign up for this connector, you say, okay, yes, Dynamics 365 is one of the connectors that I want to leverage, and you can start logging into your general ledger. It gives me the information. Okay, I will pull in the dimensions, I'll build the model, and I can start viewing that information. So you will start looking at a dashboard. You'll start looking at the dashboard where you look at these different KPIs. So for example, if you want to look at 2015, I want to focus on a particular entity, right? It tells me maybe the information is not there. I can start looking at the gross margin, total sales that is coming in, total expenses that are coming in from my Dynamics 365. What is the revenue breakup, the capital ratio? So it gives me all the information as part of the dashboard. And I can also start drilling down further to look at the information by different business units. It has the flexibility of toggling between different dimensions. And there is also this version comparison where you can start looking at your actual numbers, your forecast numbers, and do the analysis. So this is something that we have developed with our association with Microsoft. And this is something which will be useful because now you can connect through the Dynamics 365 connector, and you can use the dashboards that are available to start doing insights on the information that comes in from this Dynamics 365. Okay, so we covered two aspects, reporting, integration. Now let's look at the planning portion. So obviously planning, I just want to showcase a driver tree example, which gives you an idea of the FP&A, I think, which you had shared in one of the slides, where you have your sales model, where you can include different revenue drivers. It gets linked to your production. This is where you will start looking at your purchase model. You'll have different vendor prices of different raw materials. You start doing a comparison. It goes into your headcount or the HR model. Then you can do your investments that you want to plan for the next year, which is part of your CapEx. And then it goes into my cost center, P&L, balance sheet, and your cash flow. So this is a overall integrated planning story, which is very, very powerful because now I can look at sales, I can look at production, I can go into HR, and everything goes and ties back to my P&L. So that is very, very important functionality which is available as part of the platform. We can do a quick example of maybe CapEx, right? So CapEx is where you have all the asset register coming in. I can create a new CapEx that I want to generate for a particular cost center. For example, let's take as management. There is already a depreciation that is available here. Drill down further to look at maybe office equipment. You see the 60 months. Let's go and change this to maybe furnitures and fittings. And you see the asset life changes because it is pulling in the information from the asset register. I will define a new project here. Let's take a Jedox project. For the period, let's take, I want to purchase this probably in the month of March, but I want to start using this only in the month of April. And then there is this 15th, let's put this as $10,000, and then I run the depreciation. So now the system will calculate the depreciation automatically. And if I go to the next report, this will have the depreciation coming in. And you see this 10,000 now increasing from the month of July because this is the depreciation calculation. Not only this, it also goes into my P&L. This is where I can start looking at this $20,000 coming in the depreciation. It is linked to my balance sheet. This is where the integration planning story comes in, where I can go to the assets and I see this $10,000 coming in from the month of June. And it also goes to my cash flow. So everything is integrated. So you can decide to do your sales plan, you can do your production planning or your workforce planning, and then you can start seeing the results into my P&L. So it's a very adaptable platform, very flexible platform. It allows you to do a lot of scenario planning as well, because scenario planning is something which normally during your budgeting process, you will have scenario planning. You will create multiple versions. You see, this is an example where I'm doing strategic, best and worst, and I can immediately start seeing the impact on my P&L. So for example, at this point, I have some initiatives that are defining my P&L. I have my upsell opportunity. I click on the upsell opportunity. I increase this by say 15%. and I want to immediately see the impact of this into my P&L. So you start seeing those impact into your strategic best and worst scenarios. So that is something which is possible within the platform. You can create multiple scenarios. You can add more scenarios if you want. I can also leverage AI. I think I will stressed upon the AI bit a bit, but you can also look at the drivers that will define the the key drivers that are defining a particular KPI. So in this example, we are looking at revenue as my the KPI, and you see that there are different drivers that are defining. So you have your raw material, your stock indices. I can look at my trade promotion spend, and it tells me how does it impact the revenue. So this is also very important because you need to know which drivers will have your impact on the KPIs that you want to look at. And Jedox has created an AI wizard, which gives you access to all the time series prediction, driver based prediction. It also helps you do a lot of data preparation because there will be extrapolation. There will be some outliers that you might have within the system. There will be interpolation, and that is significantly improved using the data preparation as part of the AI wizard. So that's on the AI side, and obviously AI will help you adapt to changing market forces, future-proof your business, and also optimize your performance. So everything that you see within the platform is all no code, and it helps you do your planning, budgeting, forecasting, analysis, and reporting in a disrupted world. One of the other areas which I think strongly recommend is the Excel-based planning as well, because obviously being a Microsoft customer, we want to leverage everything that Microsoft offers. And you see this Excel add-in, which is where you can just drag and drop all the dimensions. So at the moment, I'm doing my analysis by different regions, but if I want to do my analysis by different products, I can quickly do that. It creates a view. I can drill down further to look at the different products. I can drill down and go down to the different years or different years. And you can also do data entry because this is where we want to increase adoption. There are a lot of users who are still using Excel. And that is why the Excel add-in functionality really help because you're using a familiar interface, but there is a lot of power that is running at the back end. So at the moment, I can quickly change this to say, if I want to put this as 200 or 20 million, immediately the information gets updated and goes down to the lowest level to look at the different SKUs. So it is through Excel. It is helping. It's a secure, it's a seamless collaboration with all the stakeholders, not just within the finance, but you can also involve people outside finance, and that is where the Excel add-in interface really helps. You can create a report, you can publish this report to different user groups, and they can start using the reports that you have created. So that is something which is really helps because the Excel add-in is a strong capability of the platform. Not only the Excel add-in, but you can also start using the PowerPoint add-in because you will have certain reports that you want to create. For example, I've created a simple report where I'm just increasing the turnover from in the quarter two. You see this turnover at the moment is 4 million, but I want to increase this to say 5 million, and I want to see the impact on my charts. So immediately you see the charts getting updated in Excel. I quickly come to the PowerPoint. I do a quick update, and you see this 4 million at the moment will now get updated to say 5 million. You see, it's all real time. I can do the changes. I can quickly use the Excel add-in. I can use the PowerPoint add-in, and I can create those management decks, which will help the finance users to create those management decks, which are very important as part of your management reporting. One last aspect which I think is very, very important, and I want to stress on that is the we do have marketplace repository. And give me a sec. So in terms of marketplace, it does have a lot of repository. This is where you see a lot of Jedox pre-built models. We want to give customer a faster time to value, ensure that the project success happens. And this best practice accelerators are a good starting point because you already are using some of this best practice models. Like some of the accelerators that are available is ESG, I have integrated financial planning. I can look at my capex, cash flow. So these are some of the models that can be downloaded from the marketplace, very similar to what you do in your app store or in your Play Store. You can just download these models and you can start doing the configuration. It gives you a good example of an ESG dashboard at this point, where you can start looking at the different energy consumption. You have GHG emissions, business travels, and there are different templates that are available, which I just need to start configuring based on my requirements and start entering those information to come up with that ESG templates. So this is another important aspect, and I think with that I will just take a pause and pass my time back to Sandra.
Okay, thank you so much, and Rahul, for the presentation. Let us just directly go to the Q&A session. For the first question, let me see the meeting chat. Okay,
Maybe
from
I can
Hari
help
S.
you with that. I
Hi,
can help you with
Yvette.
that, Sandra.
How about the ETL? Extract, transform, and load data. Include UI for us as the back-end developers. Since usually this ETL becomes the most frustrating session in order to get the data served for the finance team. Thanks.
Did you get that, Rahul?
Yeah, I'm just reading through the question. So how about the ETL for us backend developers, since usually this ETL becomes the most. Yeah, so this is an ETL tool which is again, as I stressed, obviously I could not go into a lot of details in the session, but Jedox ETL is a no-code solution, and generally with some training, you can start using this tool as a finance user. So there is less reliance on the external consultants or IT. And if you want to use this ETL to connect to different sources, get the information in, and then pass it on to finance, you can use that. That is not a problem. So the answer is yes, you can leverage our ETL tool as well as backend developers, but this is specifically for finance, because if you want to use this as a backend tool, right, there is still a license cost. It does not, I mean, there is no, I mean, we do not have a specific ETL license. It is all part of the package. That is why you need to understand the business requirement before you take that call. But technically, it is possible to use this as a backend tool.
Okay, thank you so much for the answer. Untuk Bapak Hari S, apakah sudah terjawab untuk pertanyaannya? Jika sudah, saya izin lanjut ke question selanjutnya. Kita langsung lanjut aja. Untuk dari pertanyaan dari Bapak Ardiansyah. Morning, Ivet. Does Jedox have some automated routines such backup database daily, send PDF report to groups, etc.? If there's more of those automated routines, please elaborate, since this will help a lot on daily basis activity. Thank you.
Even I can take that one. Yes, we do have, we do take backups because it's a cloud environment. So every day there is a snapshot taken. It can be downloaded from what we call it as a cloud console. We can send PDF reports to groups who do not have access to Jedox. So there is also an inbuilt scheduler where you can say, okay, I want to send reports to my C-level executives 6 p.m. Every day, or maybe 9 a.m. in the morning. So there will be a trigger point, and those PDFs will be sent to their Outlook, and they can start reading those reports. So yeah, we can automate a lot of this daily activities using the scheduler that is inbuilt in the ETL tool.
Thank you, Rahul, for the answer. Untuk Bapak Ardiansyah, apakah pertanyaannya sudah terjawab? Jika sudah, izinkan saya untuk melanjutkan ke pertanyaan selanjutnya. For the next question from Bapak Nanang Harijanto. For the first question, there are 3 questions. For the first question, is Dynamics 365 Business Central available in the cloud? And then the second question is, how does Dynamics 365 Business Central integrate with other Microsoft solutions? And for the last question, how do I migrate my data to Dynamics 365 Business Central?
I think this is more of a ERP
Yeah.
question than Jedox question.
That's probably Pak Sigit. You can take this question more on the Microsoft ERP. If Pak Sigit is around.
But Sigit, do you want to answer this question? I think Pak Sigit is in. Okay, maybe we can continue for the next question. From Bapak Ferdi. Yes. Oh. Good morning, Ivet and Rahul. I'm not trying to compare with other similar services, but how's Jedox scaling capabilities in terms when the application gets big, more than 100 CCU? Since I've seen similar services performs poor services like lagging, etc. when the application getting bigger. Thanks.
Yeah, for us, it is not a challenge even if the application gets bigger or you scale up, you add more databases, add more applications. Not a problem, because architecture wise, whenever you add anything in Jedox, like for example, you have product hierarchy which has at the moment 10,000 SKUs. Next year you want to introduce, hypothetical situation, you want to introduce another 2,000 SKUs within the market. So you're increasing your SKU size from 10,000 to 12,000, and this is having an impact on the overall model. For me, for Jedox, it is not a challenge, because I can update the product hierarchy. I can include this 2,000 elements within SKU, and architecture wise, technically Jedox will compress everything by 20 times. So even if you look at some of our models and if you look at their size, it is in MBs. So no matter how big the application is, the database that stores everything is very, very small. So it's not even GB, it's MBs. So even the biggest models, probably like the financial consolidation model that I have on my application, on my cloud console, it has 63. I can just read out some of the information, right? It has financial consolidation, it has got 63 dimension, it has got 28 cubes, and it takes about 5 seconds to load, and the size is 27 MB. So that's one of the biggest model that I have on my cloud instance, and it is very similar. So everything gets compressed, and no matter what, I mean, the scaling flexibility should not be a challenge, and the performance, we have not had any customers complaining about the performance because of the infrastructure or because of the scaling issues. Sandra?
Untuk Bapak Ferdi, apa pertanyaannya sudah terjawab? Jika sudah terjawab, saya lanjut. Pertanyaan selanjutnya, for the next question from Bapak F. Budiman. Hi Rahul and Ivet. Can you guys enlighten me about the security strength of Jedox which align with today's standards like XSS, HTML, injections, etc.? Since usually integration means more potential loophole on the security side.
Yeah, so we do have all our certifications in place, ISO certified, SOC 2, SOC 3. So all these are taken care of. We are one of the leaders in Gartner quadrant, and security is one of the biggest areas that we look into. And yeah, there are a lot of information which is also available on the website. I can just paste this link in the chat, and you can review all the certifications and other security related aspects.
Thank you, Rahul, for the answer. Untuk Bapak F. Budiman, pertanyaan Bapak sudah terjawab. Oke, thank you Bapak Ferdi. Untuk selanjutnya mungkin kita bisa langsung ke Bapak Ari aja ya, Bapak Ari Tahjando yang raise hand. Boleh langsung di on mic saja, Pak.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rahul, for the explanation about Jedox. Sorry, I cannot write. Just turn left on the speaker. I'm concerning about the ESG and human capital. You said that in human capital, because Jedox is like a planning, right? Planning tools. And the challenge on the human capital is when the CEO would like to increase the revenue, and then how many human manpower planning that needed or related on what's the capability. Can you do that though for the AI, for the predictive? That's the first one. The second one is for the ESG, because I'm concerning on the scope 1, 2, and 3. So how do you collect that? Is it from the ERP, from Dynamic, or can you get it from the IoT? Because it's like in the ERP just mentioned about how much is the cost for the electricity, but not on the carbon equivalent, and also related on the cost of the people traveling on the scope 3 is only the what is the cost of the taxi or the traveling cost, but not on the distance or the what's it, carbon equivalence things. So how do you that? That's two questions there I would like us. Thank you.
Yeah, I think I'll start with your the ESG one, the question that you had. So obviously IoT at the moment we don't have any integration with IoT systems because typically we are more into the planning side, and ESG is I mean you can connect to most of the system. I understand the carbon planning or the scope 3 is one of the challenging areas that you might have in an ESG reporting, but there are certain tools in the market which can help you derive all this carbon planning, carbon footprint, and the tool that we are using internally as well is what we call it as. So there is a tool that we use internally, and we connect to. So any business travel that you do, any road trips, any train trips, everything is captured within the system. So that is something, and it is called as Climatic. So that is a software which is available, and we'll have to see. I mean, integration is definitely one of the stronger areas that we have, but IoT, at least I've not heard we are connecting to most of the IoT devices. So for now, let's. The answer is because we don't have experience with the IoT devices, I would say no. But integration with the native connectors that we have, REST APIs, most of the system we can connect. So if if generally we want everything to be captured in an ERP system, but if you have other systems, we can have a look and we can discuss further.
Okay, so generally for the carbon ESG things is only for the planning, yeah, for not for the reporting. Is it what you said?
The planning and reporting, but most of it is actually coming from an ERP system, not from IoT devices, because that's more advanced. And at this stage, we don't capture so much of information.
Okay, so better that from the NMS connect to IoT and NMS reporting to the ERP or send it to you related on the carbon equivalence number, yeah.
That's correct. That's how you should do it. Yeah.
Okay. So how's the number one? My first question about related on the manpower planning.
Yeah. So manpower planning is something what we have done, right? And I showed a couple of examples is the best practice accelerator. So we do have an HR or human capital model that you can leverage. So if there is a revenue growth in the organization, you want to plan for additional headcount. So I can use those templates that are available, plan for my workforce, And this can be integrated with Dynamics, or if you have an HR system, I can pull that employee master from there as well and plan for the headcount. So very, very popular use case that we have in our space. And we do have some best practice accelerators, which you can download and you can start using it within the system.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Ari. Makasih banyak, Pak Ari. Thank you, Rahul. Okay, for the next question from Pak Nanang, there are 3 questions. For the first question, how Jedox EPM builds upon a Microsoft Dynamics Finance and Operations Data Foundation. And the second question, how Jedox creates a secure and effective connection to Microsoft Dataverse. And the last question, how Jedox encourage a collaboration in planning through Excel worksheets.
So I showed the Microsoft Dynamics 365 FO connector. So Jedox will, through the integration capability through our Dynamics 365 connector, will pull the information from the different tables that are available. We'll create those views, tables, cubes, and dashboards, which are already part of this connector. So that's how we'll leverage the FO data to come up with the budget models and the plans that we want to create within Jedox. Connection to Dataverse, yes, it's also possible. Using the same connector, we can have the similar logic. It's using the REST APIs to have that connection. And Jedox encourages collaboration in planning through Excel worksheet. We want to encourage because we don't want users to completely stop using the Excel worksheets, because no matter what platform you go into, no matter what technology you adopt, users will still go back to Excel. So we want users to be comfortable when they are going into this transformation journey to continue with Excel, leverage the Excel add-in capabilities, which gives you the power of Jedox running at the back end, and do the collaboration. So whether you want to do web, you want to do Excel, you want to use mobile, all the interfaces are seamless. You can choose depending on your comfort zone, and you can start collaborating and entering information.
Thank you, Rahul, for the answer. Bapak Nanang, apakah pertanyaan sudah terjawab? Bila belum ya, boleh langsung tanyakan lagi, Bapak. Oke, untuk pertanyaan selanjutnya, for the next question, from Mbak Asna. Mbak atau Bapak Asna. Good morning, guys. Can you guys show me benefits in terms of technical and commercial aspect when using Jedox rather than similar products such as Unplan, Power BI, Profix, etc.?
So technical we can, commercial let's discuss it later. So Power BI is not in the similar space as Anaplan, Profix, and Jedox are. So I would talk about 3 things where Jedox stands out as compared to Anaplan or Profix and other players. I mean, there are a lot of players in this market. So integration, over 50 plus pre-built connectors, and you saw the Microsoft Dynamics connector that I showed you. It's all part of the platform, and this is where Jedox really stands out, because no other EPM solution will give you all this integration at the price that we offer. Because for us, it's not an additional price, it is part of the platform. Second is the Excel add-in. You saw the PowerPoint add-in. So all that Excel add-in, PowerPoint add-in really helps is in the collaboration. It also, it helps in the change management, because a lot of the time the CFOs that we interact with, they tell, okay, yes, there is a new technology that we are looking at, but the users are not using it. And the Excel add-in actually enables these users to start using this technology, because they're still using the Excel, which they've been using it for quite some time, and they're also leveraging the power of Jedox. So Excel add-in, the PowerPoint add-in, the Office add-in, or the Word add-in is definitely a differentiator as compared to other products, because these other products will not have a write back capability or things that we can do with our Excel add-in. So that is something which is another differentiator as compared to the competition. And third, I would say it is a technical component, but it gives you the commercial benefit, which is my model does not grow with increase of the SKUs, increase of the applications or more databases that you want to add. And this will give you a commercial benefit because our licensing model is very straightforward based on the number of users. So at this moment, you say, Rahul, Yvette, we want 10 users. So we'll give you 10 users license cost. The next you say, oh, 15 users. So we say, okay, yes, let us give you the 15 user cost. So there is no additional workspace or infrastructure requirements as compared to the other players that you see. So our technical architecture benefits give you that commercial advantage as well, because straightforward scale up number of users, you say less number of users, you go down less number of users, and you can start using the application. So these are the three areas which makes Jedox really superior as compared to the competition.
Okay, thank you Rahul for the answer. Untuk Bapak atau Ibu Asma, bila masalah ngomong jelas, boleh chat kembali. Jika sudah jelas, boleh dikatakan juga di type message di kolom komentar. Oke, selanjutnya for the next question from Bapak Abdurrahman. There are 3 questions. For the first question, where can I find the sales professional and sales insights documentation? For the second question, why are appointments synchronized from Outlook showing as unsaved in Dynamics 365? And the last question, what are the differences between the duplicate detection capabilities in Power Platform and Dynamics 365 sales?
Again, it looks like a ERP question. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Let's just move on to the next question from Bu Erlina. Hello Rahul, just some basic questions. What is the minimum requirements of each OS used? Microsoft, Mac OS, Ubuntu? Mean device spec, minimum device spec, RAM, processor, memory, etc. And how about the response, lag time, and flexibility side when operated on mobile device?
I think there are no minimum requirements. All you need is an internet connection. Since it is 100% cloud, you can access this on your Windows, you can access it on your Mac, and you don't need all the servers because Jedox will take care of all the infrastructure. So you don't have to worry about the minimum requirements. It is based on the number of users, your infrastructure, your environment is spinned off, and then as you scale, the necessary infrastructure is provided. From usage perspective, if you're an end user, you're a power user, all you need is a URL. You need to have access to this URL, like your login, maybe if you can configure to your Active Directory. And then it is more like a single sign-on. So Rahul, when he logs in, he uses his Jedox ID and it goes through. And based on your security, your access, you will be seeing those applications. So there is no minimum requirements. All you need is a stable internet connection. And similarly for your mobile as well. You can download the Jedox on the mobile. You log in, you put in the URL, and then you can start accessing the reports and dashboards on the mobile device as well. So there is no lag time or any flexibility issues. It's very stable, very responsive. And we constantly demo the mobile on the mobile as well as the iPads. So hopefully that answers the question.
Okay, thank you Rahul. Untuk Mbak Erlina, semoga pertanyaannya terjawab oleh Ibu. Okay, for the next and the last questions from Bapak Hari S. Hi Rahul. Most traditional BI tools do not allow for write-back functionality, sharing expectations among the team in terms of budget. Request, planning, workflow, and audit trail is not facilitated in BI tools. How Jedox managed to help us on those matters? Thanks.
Yeah, so we are not BI tool. We are in performance management, EPM space, leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant. So all these things that you highlighted, right? These are the common expectations that you will hear from the finance team, the CFOs, the finance controller, the finance directors. We want to have a solution which will help us in your budgets, plans, forecasts, have a strong collaboration through workflow because they want to review the numbers that, for example, if it is submitting a Yaha sales plan. So someone needs to go and review that numbers, and this can be done through workflow. You can have multiple levels of workflow within the system, 2 levels, 3 levels. Audit trail is something which is available as an out-of-box functionality. If I have a certain number that I want to track, I can just do a right click and it opens up the audit trail and it tells me who has done what changes at what time, and it gives me that complete insights in terms of making a person accountable for that certain numbers. So definitely with Jedox as your modern planning platform, you will be able to come out of that mess, which the traditional BI tools may not offer.
Oke, thank you Rahul. Untuk Bapak Haritas, semoga pertanyaannya terjawab. Oke, baik Bapak dan Ibu sekalian, kita langsung lanjut aja ke sesi selanjutnya, yaitu kita akan bermain Kahoot. Jadi kali ini kita akan ada kuis berhadiah. Jadi untuk bagi Bapak Ibu, semoga mendengarkan presentasinya tadi dengan baik, agar karena di kuis Kahoot ini akan ada hadiah dengan total voucher untuk juara 1 ada Rp500.000, yang juara 2 akan Rp400.000, juara 3 Rp300.000, juara 2 Rp200.000, dan juara terakhir akan dapat Rp100.000. Baik, boleh dibantu Mbak Melva untuk Kahoot-nya? Oke. Baik, Bapak Ibu sekalian, boleh ketersediaannya untuk mengeluarkan handphonenya dan nge-scan di barcode nanti yang akan keluar di layar Bapak Ibu sekalian. Ibu ya. Baik, Bapak Ibu, boleh di-scan barcode di depan, atau mungkin langsung mau tulis pin game-nya. Akan ditunggu ya, Bapak Ibu. Baik, Bapak Ibu, ditunggu ya untuk join ke dalam Kahoot ini. Baik, Bapak Ibu, sebentar lagi akan kita mulai ya. Sudah 32 peserta yang masuk. Kita tunggu, kita hitung 10 detik dari sekarang. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oke, Mbak Melva boleh dibantu untuk di-lock dan kita akan mulai Kahoot-nya sekarang. Kuis. Untuk nomor pertama, benar atau salah? Jedox merupakan EPM platform yang mengintegrasi data dari berbagai stakeholders ke satu platform secara real dan akurat. Benar atau salah? Nah, benar. Tiga wih. Siapa nih satu doang yang salah nih ternyata? 31-nya berarti mendengarkan dengan baik ya pada di presentasinya yang tadi. Oke, boleh di selanjutnya, Mbak Melva. Iya, ada Bapak Nanang H yang paling atas. Ada Bapak Doni, Pak Randy, ada Pak Agus, dan Pak Anwar. Di next, Mbak Melva. Jedox merupakan EPM software dapat membantu proses bisnis. Yang bukan merupakan proses bisnis yang ditawarkan oleh Jedox adalah ada budgeting, planning, forecasting, dan juga recording.
Yang bukan.
Yang bukan ya Bapak dan Ibu. Dan jawabannya adalah recruiting. Oke, boleh next Mbak Bapak?
Nomor satu siapa nih?
Di nomor 1 sudah dibalap oleh Bapak Yongsan. Di nomor 2 ada Pak Randy, ketiga Pak Agus, keempat Pak Sike, dan yang terakhir ada Mbak. Oke, boleh next Mbak Melva. Jedox dapat memberikan solusi terhadap semua sistem bisnis dan memiliki pilar unggul yaitu adaptable, integrated, simple, atau benar semua. Empat, tiga, dua, satu. Dan jawabannya adalah semua benar. Oke, bagi next, Pak. Pak Yongsan masih berada di nomor 1 nih, bertahan ya Bapak ya. Oke, bagi next, Bapak.
Jawaban.
Artificial Intelligence AI memudahkan untuk menganalisis data secara real time. AI yang dimiliki Jedox disebut assisted yang planning. Oke. Benar apa? Bapak Yongsan masih bertahan di paling atas ya, di urutan nomor 1. Dan Bapak Agus naik ke nomor 2. Bapak di next, Bapak. Benar atau salah? Jedox merupakan leader dari Gartner pada quadrant untuk financial planning software. Jawabannya adalah benar. Tapi masih bertahan nomor 1. Bapak Yong. Bapak Doni naik ke peringkat nomor 4. Keunggulan Jedox yang dalam proses FP&A diantaranya adaptable platform dengan bantuan assistive, no-code data integration dari berbagai sistem, menggunakan Excel sebagai user interface utama, atau semua benar. Dan jawabannya adalah semua benar. Oke, berikut adalah pemenangnya. Juara 3 jatuh kepada Bapak Sigit, juara 2 Bapak Agusti Yuda, dan juara pertama jatuh kepada Oke, yang pertama jatuh kepada Bapak Yong kan. Baik, boleh kita beri tepuk tangan semuanya Bapak Ibu untuk para pemenang. Jadi untuk Bapak Ibu yang menang, jangan lupa untuk men-screenshot podium yang tertera di layar. Lalu boleh dibantu untuk email ke email Markom di markom@intikom.co.id. Lalu nanti akan kita bantu kirimkan juga untuk voucher MAP-nya. Sorry, untuk pemenangnya akan mendapatkan e-wallet. Mohon maaf Bapak Ibu sekalian, nanti untuk yang menang akan mendapatkan e-wallet. Boleh dibantu? Oke, untuk selanjutnya, Bapak dan Ibu boleh dibantu untuk mengisi feedback form, boleh dibantu scan untuk barcode yang ada di depan layar Bapak Ibu sekalian. Sekaligus, saya juga ingin menginformasikan bahwa untuk 5 register tercepat dan tertarik untuk melakukan POC atau personal demo akan mendapatkan benefit tawaran sebesar Rp750.000. Baik, mungkin Bapak dan Ibu, saya tunggu sekitar 5 menit untuk mengisi feedback form-nya. Oke, baik Bapak dan Ibu sekalian, saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih banyak kepada Bapak dan Ibu atas waktunya memberikan kesempatan untuk mengikuti webinar pada hari ini, webinar Jedox dan Intikom, Revolutionizing FP&A, Microsoft Dynamics 365 and Jedox, Your Path to Autonomous Finance. Selain itu juga saya ingin mengucapkan, I would like to say thank you to Rahul and Ivat for the presentation today. Dan aku juga saya izin memberikan reminder untuk para pemenang, jangan lupa untuk screenshot dan mengirimkan bukti pemenangnya melalui email ke email Markom di markom@intikom.co.id. Saya Semi selaku Mas Rafsani pada pagi hari ini, saya izin mundur diri. Terima kasih.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ivat. Thank you, Rahul.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Thank you, everyone.